Hey everybody, it's time for another lower body vlog, and yes, so we're going to continue with the pause squats. I decided to go heavier today though. Went ahead and went up 50 pounds, and instead of doing a bunch of sets of 3, I simply did 3 sets of 3 with nice solid pauses at the bottom, trying to get these as deep as I possibly can, trying to pause there trying to just do a 2 count on each rep. And I think I accomplished that pretty well. So we went up to 375 for this. I'm pretty happy with it. Quads really got lit. Everything felt good. It felt reasonably heavy. These sets are challenging. To be fair, people would be like, "Are you leaving a bunch of reps in the tank?" Not really. These are pretty tough to do triples with because I'm not used to these deep pauses, and I'm going to have to just build it up from here. But as I've said previously, in the other big video I had made discussing all of this, deep pause squats really are what got my squat up to 500 originally when I came back to training. I know it will build my quads up. It lights my quads up. I am trying to do a little bit of extra quad work in here. But again, trying to do stuff with the belt squat has not turned out to be still as fruitful as I would like. So I'm still not sure what to do about that. It might be a case of I may just have to come in after the pulling and possibly just start doing some high rep squats afterwards. Because quite frankly, the belt squat, no matter what position I take, I try to get further over, try to get the feet closer. It is uncomfortable and I cannot get to depth on it. I simply cannot get to the sort of depths I get on a squat, even though my hamstrings might be touching, my hips still look really high. So we'll discuss that in a minute. But the pause squatting went really good, right? It went really good. Pretty happy with it. Again, felt like a nice, challenging workout that would give me a bit of training stimulus, but without beating me into the ground, right? Out beating me into the ground. So again, very happy with that. And I feel like I may have to stick right here with this weight for just another week or so, but I want to start working this up. Like, short-term goal, I'd like to be able to do this with 4 plates a side, and on this bar that would be 415. So I think I'll be in a good place again when I can do that. All right, I think that'll give me a lot to work with, and then if I need to build from there, I can build from there. But I do feel like 3 nice heavy sets of this is enough if I get some secondary quad work just for hypertrophy. But this really, doing triples with pause squats is really how I built my quads when I was back in the UK. You guys saw the pictures. They were a lot bigger. I was walked in and hit a 508 squat at that time. Yes, it's the sun is not up yet. This is still the daylight savings time. So the best lighting I've got with the garage door open doing the deadlifts. Really all I can do there. So make these harder. I'm like, let's do some heavy triples with these too, but I don't want to use a deadlift bar, normal deadlift. Let's make this more difficult. I really want to get that deeper range of motion, just like I'm trying to get the pause squats. We can replicate the same thing on a deadlift. Use a stiff bar, right? So no whip, and stand on a plate. So deficit work. So I just did 495 for 3 sets of 3. These sets were all hard. And here's the thing when we're dealing with these sort of intensities, every rep is an effective rep. So we'll get gross stimulus from all of it. Granted, the reps are a little low, the volume looks a little low for hypertrophy, but it doesn't mean it doesn't work. And I think a lot of that does come to just hitting some high rep back off stuff definitely helps. I did limit it today though. Like I didn't do a lot, didn't do a whole lot, but I will point out challenging sets on squats and deadlifts are enough to make your lower body grow. Absolutely are. So that being said, I'm pretty happy with these. And these I judged it just about right. I'm like, I think a 1-inch deficit. I think 495 triples are going to be relatively hard. And they were. It's like I had maybe a rep or 2 in the tank. I probably could have done 5 on the first set. But I feel like by that last set, it was getting hard. Granted, I didn't do really long breaks. This was a pretty short workout. Got in and just hit it hard, got back out. Because just 6 work sets of the heavy stuff. All right, the belt squats, let's talk about this a bit. I keep trying to make it work, and I felt like I took these all the way ass to grass. That's what it felt like when I'm doing them. Hey, but I just did the set, adjusted even my stance midway through because this belt rubs me raw, and it's not just because I'm in shorts, it rubs, my stuff. So, bit of a problem. One of the biggest flaws in the belt squat design in general. You got to deal with the strap right there. And I do feel like there's almost no way around it. The only way that might be more comfortable would be to get even further way away from it, right? See if I could get further back away from the lever, so much further back on the platform. That might resolve that, but I just feel like that pulls you forward more. You really have to almost, to do that, you almost have to keep your torso more forward than I'm doing. So I get people who ask that, why don't you go upright on this? And I'm like, because I'm a male, I can't. So when someone says, oh, I'm able to go upright on these, I'm like, dude, how? I really don't see how anyone does it. It's just, think of the angles, guys. Extremely uncomfortable. So that's my problem with the belt squat. At this point, I do wish I had a leg press. But, I'm probably going to have to go with what I said I need to do. I may just need to just do more back off work on the squats. After the deadlifts go over, put a really light weight on, maybe mess with some nice long pauses, but for reps, to again make sure the quads are getting a little bit of volume. But I do get some of that on my sled work too, so not overly worried about it, which is another reason I'm slightly biasing this towards posterior on the back off. I only did one set of this, and I did 2 reverse hypers. The main reason there being making sure the posterior end does get worked better, the hamstrings a little bit, because deadlifts are the only real hamstring exercise I have. Okay, squats don't appreciably make hamstrings grow. It's so small when it's been studied in the lab, it's negligible. I mean, they grow, but it's not a lot. Okay, so I do need to bias that a bit because deadlifts will make quads grow to some extent. So again, just trying to put the bias back there. But again, I wanted this workout short. I didn't want to be under recovered just because some stuff I need to get done today. Need to make sure that I can function. It's a big part of that. And so the workout was intense, but not so brutal that I'm destroyed. And that's kind of important with a lot of these workouts because like the upper body yesterday, even though it was still fairly short, man, I felt hammered into the ground afterwards on that one. But again, those sets are really hard, the way I'm doing everything. But this is a little more tame, but I do feel like, yes, it's enough to get an adaptation. It's enough to grow from. And I think the fact that we saw that from the last workout, because I feel like I'm stronger already on the pause squats coming back up, I wouldn't have been able to do 3x3 a week ago on these. So we should see everything grow again in the lower body. The squat should be coming back up. And again, pretty happy with the workout. It was very simple. Like I said, the only downside is the belt squats, and I'm going to have to come up with a more viable solution for that. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys and gals next time.